Sometime I'm about to be ready with the stream, just setting up the final things. Sorry to hear about your T17s. That is very unfortunate. Normally they go even until you hit a big. For example, I got an apothecary a couple days ago when I did it. Yeah, it sounds very unfortunate. Should be at least getting a couple of divines and similar. Alright, it looks like everything is set up. Hello everyone. Finally back with streaming. I apologize for the break. Week 1 has went kind of like planned, kind of not too. At least I was not enjoying the content I run. I'd rather just watch something while running it than streaming. Ooh, what's happening to my ping now? But now we are back to an amazing build. Nice. Just started already a divine drop. That's what we want to see. Build super satisfying. I haven't played Blade Vortex in quite a while, but very happy I returned to it. Everything's already hit. Where's the straggler? Ah, down here. Look at these satisfying chain explosions. I think the build can be pushed nicely into higher budget. That's the wrong life search. Oh. He didn't saw the explosion beneath all of my explosions. That's why we don't level up in T17s. Honestly, I'm okay with that. My encounter's at? Oh, here. Even with the can't damage every couple seconds, we still just... The moment we do again, everything dies. It is fairly T17 resistant. A bit more upgrade and I should be able to run almost all T17 mods. Pretty late Scarab dupe. Adversaries. T17 Scarab farm. Instead of going for boxes. I would say this strat is right in between. It's still chances to high rolls like Divine Drop, Puzzle Boxes, and good Scarabs, but it's more consistent result than just boxes. Because our investment per map is less. So this means also our high rolling is less. Like we can't get a random apothecary, dupe lock or something. I found something very cool. You can see here, this boss has both Frostbite and Assassin's Mark. However, my only source of additional curse is my Cinder Swallow. When we apply the Assassin's Mark during the uptime of Cinder Swallow Urn, the boss is permanently cursed by Assassin's Mark, and we just keep resetting the Frostbite removes itself. So even if we don't have the uptime on it normally, or we shouldn't have the uptime on it anymore, we still have 2 curse uptime. Makes it actually very convenient for bossing. Because whenever we die, we have an uptime on it, right? So initially we can reapply the curse, and then during the rest of the boss fight we don't care that Cinder Swallow is up or not. Oh. got petrified.
Business is booming.
Oh, come on. Annoying boss. Shouldn't have Wildwood buffed him. What? Eh? Oh, I died.
Too much clutter. Hello.
Was still a good map. Seven Mang. Appreciate the follow. Thank you, buddy. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Eh? Oh, I can pick it up. Right, we are detonation build. We don't care about detonate boxes. How convenient. 2 maps, 2 divines? I take that. Should have started streaming earlier. Streamer client is picking up again. That's a lot of essences.
Approach, challenger.
No, this is not containment boxes. This is adversaries and Scarab Farm. So we're using a bunch of mods that give us good rares and a horde of enemies. So we get more scarabs dropped by the map instead of just farming containment boxes. And you can see that the boxes aren't corrupted. And I don't have the box nodes on the atlas. I just have a lot of scarab nodes. But I'm using ambush on my map device so that I make it more likely to get containment boxes. The containment box scarab specifically. As that is one of the biggest drops I can get that I'm Zemi targeting. That's what was supposed to happen. So you see I'm using Nemesis, Adversaries, Lineage, Adversaries, Hordes.
Greet.
I'm just trying to leave the map with about 1 inventory worth of scarabs. And all these boxes, the barrels, and the native rare enemies of Fortress just result in a lot of additional scarab drops because of a lot of them are forced rares. It kinda looks like you ain't wrong, this is the spell cyclone. I am considering doing an SSF cyclone run this league. No, I have a +3 amulet at the moment. I'm still in a fairly reasonable budget range, but I'm planning to go a lot higher. If I can, I make a +8 amulet. But I'll have to see. It all really comes down to what the next patch is giving us, what our endgame strategy is. Is there something that I can see myself blasting for months? Yes. Average is 3 logs, I think. But the issue is that you not just need to hit the positive,
Approach.
you need the positive as max roll. What do you define as learn PoE, Evele? Like the basics to get to the point where I am now? To be able to farm something in a week or in a day? Or what is the condition to have learned PoE? Because I'll be honest, I don't think I finished learning PoE. There's still so much that I learn every day or every other day something new. Also, +4 amulets are harder to make this league than they were in previous leagues. So they are also more expensive to create. Nice. If you make one for Exang, message me. I can use the same on my Blade Vortex build if you If you want to sell it or you're done with the league. Yeah, I know how you feel. Best way might actually just be to use fossils instead of chaos spam. Hmm. Eville, Path of Exile 1 compared to Path of Exile 2 definitely has a lot of content, and it does require some understanding of the game for what content you can skip, ignore, and what content you should be engaging with. Oh boy, that is expensive. Yeah, I get you. I might not be going for a +4 amulet this league. Holy, they're back to mirror tier. That's rough. That's really rough to make. So, my approach would be, if for you feeling lost, first of all, you want to follow a specific build guide. You want to follow a build guide that is overall beginner friendly, that contains details, that explains to you the items you want to have, and at least somewhat how you approach these items. And you want to follow a creator that is using said build, so you can look at what they did in an earlier stage, and at least follow along or replicate a process that will lead you to your goal at some point. So let's say, for example, that you want to play Exsanguinate Miner. So you could look at Fearless Dumbo, what he started with, the content he did that got him towards endgame, that got him towards killing bosses. To be fair, I don't know what stage you are currently at and where you lost. I might be able to help you if you give a little bit more details. But I understand the feeling of... Nice. The feeling of loss, or feeling lost, or feeling overwhelmed at times. Ooh. There's definitely a lot of options, which is great once you understand them and what you want to choose. But I can fully understand how that is overwhelming when you don't know how to look at it yet. Okay, that's not that bad. Yeah, that's doable. Hey Arnold, glad it would help. So you need to consider what you need to sell to sustain, right? If you have enough beasts that you can sell right now to both sell but also make a decent... Ow. Hey, you were supposed to die, not kill me. To make a decent profit now and you can keep Chimerals, then I would keep. Because Chimerals, Vultures, and Watchers will always go up. They can only go up to as the league progresses. They might do a small dip because there's been a video and more people start farming it or something. But the demand for them will always only go up. We had to think every map so far. This is a good set. Good set of maps. I don't have Wallblade Vortex. Oh, there we go. Oh, I never applied Assassin's Mark. Well, that's a mistake. No, I don't have Cinder Swallow stats to apply it. That's why I didn't do damage. What the heck? Oh boy. Shaper influenced mobs. Where are my encounters? There's one. Like I learned or de-learned or forgot how to do Wildwood. Oh boy, Volatile and Shaper. I need to be careful in this map. How did they die there? What is the chains on this build? I mean, I have to. Scarab dupe, even if I nuke my damage. I might be doing a layout guide for PE2. It's a lot more effort to gather zones because I'm slower. I didn't got Temporalis in Season 0. Or in 0.1. So I need to see if I can get my hands on one that it's not giga pain to record all the layouts. You should have had sunglasses for that. What was that? The entire legion just blew up. Look at it. They're all already damaged.
I need more mana.
Yeah, sure. I will see, depending on how this league goes, how the videos here go. Oh, 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 let me out. Might take some time. It will likely gonna cost a month, and there's also the basis of what Lolcohol and Götterholic and their communities already gathered. Maybe I just have to finish the zones that we're unsure about and Act 4. We will see. I feel like also PoE2 is way less punishing if you take your time in campaign and actually get some upgrades and interact a bit with the mechanic. Like, Abyss gave you a free 5-link if you interacted with it.
Approach, challenger.
Yeah, in PoE 1 we just have more power, so it doesn't hurt as much. In PoE 2 you need a not just a good campaign build, but also either good understanding of the game or powerful items. What's that? Oh, it's Brett's cage. Oh boy. Yeah, I know what you mean. Act 2 boss and Act 4 boss are quite big, stat checks. Oh, I didn't walk out in time.
I've got some wealth for you.
Good map though. Also, we'll see. I'm still much more of a PoE 1 player than a PoE 2 player. I don't enjoy the current endgame loop in PoE 2. But apparently next patch is gonna be a massive improvement to that, so I'm excited. Heck, if we get this breach in PoE 2, plus the Abyss in PoE 2, there might be some stuff we can do there.
I need more mana.
Like, it's a game I want to enjoy, but not sure how I enjoy it yet. Okay, I could not move there.
Sold something while you were gone?
The tower step was already massive. That definitely helped a lot with the game. What? Oh, come on. I don't think, like, the idle system is an alternative to the Atlas. And I much rather take the PoE 2 Atlas than the idle system. They just need to slightly bump it up. That you have a better unlock chain already for the content is worth a lot. It adds a lot of quality to it. That you can do content instead of needing to face the big boss. And the first boss is still free, so you, as long as you have enough damage, you will get it eventually. I should just skip the boss at this point. They aren't even dropping that good of a loot. Would also keep a lot more experience if I would just skip the boss. Ah. Who knows, maybe they buff Legion. This could be a really good Legion mapper with the blink speed we have. I could see myself. If they buff Legion, I could see myself farming Legion for months. Get a bit more AoE on the build. Then first explode the Legion, and when I'm looking for stragglers, I can use Wall Blade Vortex. Alright, take care, Morphism. Thanks for joining, thanks for chatting. Have a great evening. Oh, work, sorry. Then have a, I guess, least annoying work time.
I need more mana.
You're looking to swap into this? Do I think you can get with 60 diff? It depends what you already have. Right, there are a couple hurdles of T17s. You need to manage the mods, you need to be able to kill the enemies, and you need to at least initially be, or at least on non-absurdly rolled maps, kill the map boss. Right? So, Headhunter, of course, makes it a lot easier. If you have a Headhunter, that's wonderful. Now, if you say 60 diff, I assume you do not have a Headhunter. But you can get an easy inspired learning in this spot, or this spot, because we don't pick up any notables in range of it. So this already helps you a little bit, and they actually don't cost a lot. And we're talking about Foulborn, no notable inspired learning. Then getting a decent helmet, getting the ring, getting a 1 mod Foulborn instead of a 2 mod. You can definitely get this started on that range, I would say. But also if you do not have that the ability to go to T17s yet, and you have already started this, you can do some T16 map farming and just farm T17s and sell T17s, and that will get you the currency to eventually go into T17s. Right, there are always alternative farms. Oh, so close. Ah, nice. You got a mirror. Glad for you. Oh yeah, if you got a similar helm than this, you can just use that. Conk Effect will make your initial Blade Vortex slightly smaller, but we just need to hit one enemy. And then the explosions take care of the rest, right? Pfft. dude doesn't even let me get to him. There we go. Oh, I'm not even using Conk Effect. I only have the suffixes. This is a shaper only. I will need to make a proper helmet in the future. To be fair, the build updates weren't actually my own idea. I yoinked that off Aeroplane. I just put them on the a little bit better visually on the website instead of just being a command. There isn't a guide yet, but I plan to make one. I am intending to start an additional... Oh god. Additional page on my website for crafts as I progress with the crafts in this league. I've just been busy blasting week 1, so there hasn't been any craft yet. Oh god. This is a deadly map. AoE and volatiles and more rares. Definitely not doing the wildwood here. Need a couple head under buffs. Look at all these volatiles. What the heck? There we go. We got powered up. Now we can zoom. I have to say, I was considering between Penance Brand and this, but I'm so happy I went Blade Vortex. It perfectly utilizes the Barrack ring and the Unity, the Lost Unity ring, and is giga satisfying. It's just dash through the map. I don't need to aim anything. I press Blade Vortex every couple seconds. I dash through the map, and everything dies. And in easy content, my Herald of the Hive actually does enough damage that I'm literally an auto bomber. All I need to do is dash around. Or I could even just walk around and stuff would still die. Yeah, it's a very cool ring. And with buff effect, I'm planning to get to like 200% buff effect, so that is... wait, yeah, 200% is 9% damage per Herald. That's 45% more damage. That is on the level of Zealotry. Oh, I need to get up. Almost died to ice explosions there. Can I pick up my items? Pandemonium. I take that. I'm pretty sure I can sink like upwards to 10 mirrors onto this build if I really want to push it. And it's gonna be fun. I just need content I can run for months. Like I was able to run Abyss for months, but I'm not gonna be able to farm boxes for months. I'm gonna go mental on those. So maybe with caster mastery, I don't know. We'll have to see. How? I really think that this build just is one of the best synergistic builds this league. The content isn't too hard, so we can focus more on speed than we would need to do on survivability and damage this time around. So Blade Vortex is super great for speed. We utilize 2 new unique. Oh god, what? What is that speed? He spun faster than my Blade Vortex. We have 2 cool new uniques. We have this build be able on a decent budget, but all my items I can get like 2 or 3 stages of upgrades on. I could get a synthesized scepter, or I could get a mirror weapon. I could get T1 crit multi, I could get T1 spell damage, I could get T1 crit chance. I could get, instead of life on block, ES on block. I could get a Swollen. I could get an elevated Archdemon Crown that has Conk effect on top for even more damage. I could get a Corrupted Barracks, I could get a Corrupted Unity, I could get a +4 or maybe even a +8 amulet. I could get an Explode chest or a Mirror chest. I could get gloves with life, I could get them with an Abyss socket, I could get them with T1 suffixes, with fractured damage against shield. Boots I could get Tailwind Onslaught, Elusive Boots. There's so many options that I can get. So to be fair, I really like these boots. Might just get the same boots but with better mods. So just better implicits. And unveiled movement speed. I can get a better Watchers, I can get synthesized clusters, I can get a better Militant Faith, I can get CP immunity. There's so many upgrades you can get on this build, it's insane. And all of them gonna make this build feel so much better.
Approach, challenger.
Everything dies. Thanks for cry.
Alva, I did not intend to talk to you. That said, I just saw that I have a gem corrupt and a double corrupt. I'm actually not running this Alva because this is gonna be my next. So the next time I sit Alva, I get this temple. I have a very high chance of upgrading this directly to tier 3. Just means I want to Alpha farm at some point. Ow. That's pretty rude. There is a Discord call to ask? That's actually hilarious. Hey Jiviol, you're starting league late, but following the KB1 from last league, you had a blast. So I just uploaded a video and made a written guide for this build today. Oh, it is an elementalist though. So KB1 is absolutely S tier this league. Like, it's an insane build. Has insane power, can utilize the buffs really well. I just didn't want to go Kinetic Blast again, so I chose Blade Vortex instead, which is the build you see here. Both really great options, though this one you want at least a little bit of a budget to start. I would say that this is not gonna be resulting in as much single target damage as a Kinetic Blast Warden. So if GGG ends up giving us risk mapping again for some reason, like lets us have 4 risk scarabs again, then I would pretty quickly swap to a Kinetic Blaster, which is just stronger in mitigating risk mods. This one is just a little bit squishier than the Wander, and a little bit less single target overlap. Like KB had massive explosion overlap. But as long as the meta keeps being like boxes, adversary farm, or some speed farming, then this one is gonna be great. Ha, dodged it. Like, for the current content, this is perfect, and it will be enough. If we do Alva mapping, however, if they buff Alva mapping up again, then this one could be insane. This has so many explosions, I'm pretty sure we can just chain explosion the entire Alva. Ooh. Beautiful. There might be a small pivot once we see what they buff, or if they buff any in a significant way. But I'm likely keeping this build just for the sake of playing with it and the new items. Like, I wanted to make the Herald stack, I wanted to invest into Herald buff effect, and I wanted to look at an Elementalist and not go in-stacker again. I was for a little bit debating going Penance Brand, but it looked like that one had way less fun with the new stuff. It would have just looked exactly like the Penance Brand of last league. So no discovery, no testing, no variation. Was a pretty good map. Took a little bit. A bit deadly. Let's see if we can kill the boss. Oh, dodge. You know what I should be doing? I think I should be daily orbing the maps. Let me daily orb a couple and see if that feels any better. No, this one has Desolation. What? Okay, I died to a crate. Unfortunate. So you see that I have this number here. Whenever this number hits 4, I'm pressing it. It has a very, very quick cast time. So basically I press W most of the time to just dash around. Every couple seconds I'm pressing Blade Vortex to keep this number up here to 10. And we are supporting it by Unleash, which is the number you see at the bottom, is the Unleash stacks. So that we only have to press it less often. Like, otherwise we would need to stand here, spam it up to 10, then move around. We would consume a lot of mana. We would be standing still for a long time. To prevent that, we are going with Unleash support and pressing it every couple seconds. Now, normally, Unleash will result in less damage. But Blade Vortex is a very interesting decoded skill. The first instance of Blade Vortex we cast defines the damage it does, and gives us the Blade Vortex buff. Every subsequent cast of Blade Vortex will grant the first Blade Vortex additional blades. Those aren't separate instances of the skill. It is one instance, so the recast of Unleash, where it says 35% less damage for each subsequent cast, doesn't matter, because also the subsequent cast does is giving more damage and an additional blade to our Blade Vortex, our existing one. Making Unleash insanely powerful for Blade Vortex. Found it very interesting. Hey Sash, I mean, it's not like I came up with that. I also figuring stuff out as I played a build. This is the first time and I think over a year that I played it. I mean over 2 or 3 years. The last time I played Blade Vortex was in Heist League. But other than it has some complex rules, how it does its damage, it's a very simple build. And like the rules are only important if they interest you. Otherwise, all you need to know is press Blade Vortex every 5 seconds. Dash around the map, kill stuff. Like, I learned these things so I can explain them as people ask me. But for you, if you just want to play a build and blast, all you need to know is press Blade Vortex, dash into a pack of enemies, watch the screen go boom. It's a very simple build in essence. Hey, was there a rare? Yeah. No, it's gone. The cool thing about this is that comparing it to other builds, I don't need to aim. I don't need to do anything. I mean, I guess I need to aim when I want to dash. Like, I'm looking in the direction I want to go, and I just go. The game explodes on its own. Oh, and the best thing about it all is, Herald of the Hive acts like a secondary Blade Vortex boss. And if we don't do Giga Juice content like here, it does enough damage to kill stuff. Meaning, on simple content, we can just press forward. All we need to do is walk through a map and stuff will die. I guess we need to kill the first pack to start stacking up. But this build is amazing at how simplistic it can play. Oh no, 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 don't. I didn't meant to click that. My buffs. My headhunter buffs. Alright, so this is my second build, right? I had an investment. When we finished group play, we split off and I had 160 divines to my name. So, I then also, when I started making this build, I still had a headhunter. Dang it. I stood too long in the flame. I had a headhunter and the barracks quite borrowed. And I invested roughly 100 divines. And now I have my own headhunter and barracks, so we are looking at roughly 160 divines into this build. However, I managed to get a couple of things for a cheap price, which now that I made a video about it and there's been more attention on it, they might go slightly up in price. Maybe. I don't know how much of an impact I will have and how influential some of the markets are. So I'm expecting, now you don't need everything. Sorry, to take a step back. You don't need everything I had when I started it. You don't need a double barracks with Spite. It's very convenient, but you can do with a single barracks with Spite and an Aureus End or an Obliteration, or you get some Curse on Hit Ring and you use, what's the name? The Witchbane, if it's cheap. Just get additional sources of Explode. There's also Chronic Painless. If you don't have a budget, Chronic Painless league starts Blade Vortex every league. And he started with no budget and then farmed up, right? So there are definitely variations to go with at a lower budget. Just think that if you start with 0, I'd rather go for a Kinetic Blast build first on Elementalist and then transition to Blade Vortex when you have some items. I think you would at least want to have the Ring, a 1-mod Respite, maybe the Amulet. The Amulet is a lot of levels. I would at least want the more damage and +2 base crit on a helmet, so I have a 6-ling in my helm basically. And I would want at least 1 Inspired Learning here or here with the Foulborn variant that no notables are in range, so that you don't need to rely on a Headhunter. But it's not that you need all 160 div to get this started. You can get this going for less. Headhunter is also gonna continue to fall. As the league goes on. That's usually at least what Headhunter does. Ting. Well, I mean, that was a guaranteed thing.
You might consider a will, given your line of work.
Dreamy, how are you doing, buddy? Oh, thank you so much for the T1 months. T1 sub for the third month in a row. I really appreciate it, buddy. How's the league being? Really? I feel opposite. Like, when I go into endgame of Period 2, I want a build where I can just hold down a button and move in a direction like, Whirling Slash, like, Cyclone. My man, I am farming adversaries on T17s. Why am I slowed so much? What is going on here? I expect WASD movement to come to PoE1 eventually. I just think that it's not gonna be as smooth as PoE2, because the skills weren't designed with that in mind. So there needs to be, backwards compatibility on the skills, and that's what's causing issues. You could always just try controller movement for PoE 1. Right? That's also fair with being tired of PoE 1. But I'm expecting a core update to come. Like, we have the setup on the Atlas. They have shown that they intend to give us something. I'm excited to see what it is. I don't even know how many hours I have at this point. Oh, another thing. I take things. I'm excited for both PoE 1 and PoE 2. I want to enjoy both games, and I will continue to play both games. And put effort into both. How much you play PoE 2 this season, by the way?
Approach, challenger.
Yeah, I expect it to come eventually, right? It has to come eventually to the game. I actually looked into it. I missed completely the Siege Cascade as a physical skill now. I'm looking into some Siege Cascade bleed poison shenanigans next league as a starter. There might be some cool stuff to do. Yeah, you put insane efforts into the game though when you play. Like, the amount of SSF gear you had is better than most people have on trade, buddy. Play. Yeah, maybe next time don't go LL. Surely next league we get Cyclone, we can both play Cyclone and just enjoy spin to winning.
This world is not yours.
Margu, appreciate the follow. Thank you, buddy. Hopefully you enjoy the stream. Ah, yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's also a bigger challenge. But support builds are usually a bit more unique heavy. I need to craft something with my graph blood. Oh boy. I hate ultimatums at league start. Holy, it almost made me rage quit day one. What's this cold dot ground? Dude, chill. I mean, not literally, because if you chill the ground, I die. There we go. You're gonna be spamming ultimatums next league? Well, that's gonna be interesting. Record some data for me. I need something with more oomph. Uh... No idea if that's a good one. I remember in season 1 that you could blink arrow, not blink arrow, blink them up and down, which was pretty funny. You could just portal out.
Approach.
I expected it to be better early. Similar to how tattoos and catalysts are more expensive early. Oh, yo! 6-link conversion, yo! Any other league I would be making bank with that. Yo, these explosion chains are so satisfying. Oh my god, it's Zapper. No worries, glad the build is gonna be enjoyable for you. Oh, you are still on the Mana Forge build. Yeah, that was a really solid start. I'm very happy with it. Very much like the iteration of it. Alright. Any unique 6 links? No? Okay. Good to know with... So Ultimatum is like Beasts. It's worth it very early on, and then a lot more in late game. Gotcha, gotcha. Trying to figure out if invest more into the build or go for a new one. I think that decision should come down to what do you want to do in PoE? Where do you want to go? What content you want to do? And do you want to experience different contents and different builds, or you want to experience farming up, let's say, a mirror, 2 mirrors, and hyper invest, get some crazy items? Those are the thoughts that go through my head if I consider going for a build 2, what my build of the league is. Ow, there was a meteor. I can't stand still in this map, I noticed. It's so expensive. I'm hoping for a cheap one. I'm waiting for Beast. This is gonna be an insane Beast farmer. This build is gonna be insane for Beast farming. I'm just waiting for Beast to skyrocket. Like, I only need to use Blade Vortex when I'm on top of the Beast. Otherwise, my Herald of the Hive will just kill everything. So it's... Ooh. From a crate. Druid, when it comes, is gonna be insane. Also, when the Druid comes, the Huntress should also get a third ascendancy. We saw the cat transformation. If that is still in the design spectrum. Look at this satisfying explosion! The Legion just pops! Pop goes the Legion!
I need more mana.
Yes, basically. You have your own pulse, and it deals a lot of damage. Like, this is my... Okay, in comparison to Blade Vortex, it's not that much. But for generic mapping content, that is more than enough. And then we still have Elder Explosion Chains. I showed it in the video. It can actually full clear a jungle valley in about a minute. Just walking through it with Herald of the Hive. I'm really curious. I'm curious about the Druid, I'm curious about the Cyclone, I'm curious about the other senseis, I'm curious about the Duelist. I'm waiting for a bunch of stuff in PoE 2. Alright. Thanks. Take care, buddy. Right to chat. 7 hours to sub 5 hour. Yo, that's an insane improvement. That is not just my guide. That is some dedication to a little bit of practice and learning. Like, I gave you the theory, but you made it practice, and it's an insane pace. 7 hours to 5 hours is a good improvement, buddy. Salute to that. Ow. There goes my XP. No! Alright, back to no level up.
Approach, challenger.
I wonder how good Blade Vortex is at an actual Legion. Not just random Legion in a T17. When I recorded it for the video, I did 0 tree investment Legion. Just a couple random Legions in my map. With Scarabs. I really need to interact with my graft tree. Genesis tree. My blood is about to fill. Yeah, I agree on that. It's a very nice consistent gain. I got lucky with boxes this league. I got a double apothecary drop. But it's still... If I would have gotten that, it would have been just pain and no loot. I'd much rather have things like the adversary farm, where I have consistent... Where the... What the heck? Where were you even? I teleported all over the place, but not on top of this dude. Need to be careful about to break the map. Yeah, it's also what I adjusted to. It feels better than Divinity. Ow! Divinity feels a little bit too rippy at times. And boxes feels too inconsistent. I'm really not a big fan of boxes. You're blocking Kagurn. I think it's okay. It's also nice to see a random, what's the name? A Bismuth ore on your map. Alright, retry on the boss. There we go. Alright, I'm expecting to die on the map, boss. Yeah. I can kill him.
Hello.
I've been mainly focusing on none. I've been trying to make some jewels on the tree, but without any bigger success.
You might consider a will, given your life.
Um... Need something slightly different. Ah, no, we got him. I will be making crafting guides for the Blade Vortex, yes. I'm looking into making some crafting videos for Blade Vortex and some profit crafts I will be attempting once I have currency.
Greeting.
Right. I think grafts might be the best currency maker still. Like, uniques needs to be lucky, currency needs to hit lucky, but grafts are just in demand, and I'm a big fan of tool grafts.
She will soon bear fruit.
Right. This one is a good one. This might be a good one. I haven't seen +1 strike at all yet. I know it can drop, but I haven't seen it. Alright, let's check. No. This one is worth something. This one is worth something. Oh,
Enter.
I thought this one instantly resets.
The dreamer welcomes you. The Genesis tree accepts your offering.
Alright, let's check again. I like rough blood stored ones, but I think, not stored, dropped. But I think they are decreasing in popularity. As people play less, they need to store slower. Ooh, cover and frost on hit. With cooldown. Yo, that's something. I've not been sending mappers at all. I'm just prepping big shipments for like in the future. That I just need to buy
Please,
dust
please.
and then send shipments out. Crit multi, crit chance damage for crystals. Might be worth something. More life recovery. Maybe. Let's block. Another one crit multi that might be worth something. Ooh, skilled effect duration. That one might be a good one. Alright. Let's list a couple of those that I got and see if anything sells.
Hopefully they'll be...
So we have crit multi, damage. Was expecting more. Crit multi, damage. Craft blood stored. This one I expect to be worth something. Nothing? Ah, there we go.
At that price?
Alright. Good enough for me. I know I will die, but I should be doing the wildwood again in case I get some currency. What the heck? I'm getting nothing. That's not a fun way to learn that you get volatiles on your map. Ooh, boy. That's a lot of blue juice. That's a lot of blue juice. Alright, how hard is the map gonna be? Oh. Oh, that hard. Okay. I see how things are. Already been worth it. Already been worth it.
Approach, challenger.
No! Right on aboves. Well, we're gonna be in for a couple of portals. I'm definitely not using the Sentinel on top. Yeah, those rares are tanky. And right after they die, I need to escape or I get hit by the volatile. Which also have increased AoE by the looks of it. That is not healthy. Oh, please tell me I got a high fort. Please, please, game, tell me I got a high fortress on this map. Oh. Oh no. It's a protect. I thought for a moment it was a high fortress. That would have been insane. I like the okay, I don't know what I like. I like the normal breach. The normal breach and the fortress. But I don't like the fortified breach. This is a hard map. Damage reduction and crit. Would have much rather liked the hybrid between blue-yellow. But I definitely take it. Also pretty nicely shows the limitations of my build currently. Oh! This is a I don't deal damage every couple seconds one. That's good to know. Now we have Affliction League. Yo, I got Scarab Dew. I have zero survivability this map. It's all about killing stuff before I die. Which so far I have not been having a success at. I am not trying that boss. I don't want to waste my last portals on the boss. No, 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 no! I couldn't move! I couldn't move! The divine! No! The area is not secure. Oh, never mind, it is. Yoink. Mine now. Welp. 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 Last portal time. I mean, we got a Baldur's box, we got a Divine. That was been a good map. Even if I lost all my experience. Yo, how many volatiles was that? Where did they all come from? Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay.
Approach, challenger.
Yo, that chain explosion. Honestly, I think once I farmed up a bunch of upgrades, I might just run a bunch of Legion dunes just to level the build up. I think this is gonna be getting insane XP on Legion. Like with all the rares, it's gonna be immortal. And Legion should be about to be cheap because almost no one's playing it anymore. Yo, what is that massive devourer? Holy! That devourer could have swallowed me whole. Was a monster.
I need more mana.
Took a break from T7s yesterday, juiced map farming on dunes. Yeah, that's what's happening, right? You get your XP, you're close to your level up, and then you decide, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna be fine, and no, you're not fine. Either you force a level up or you don't have XP. Like, that's just how T17s are. I mean, I'm level 94. I need to get to 98 first. This is a build that could actually benefit from being level 100. Well, I like the pace of this build. The maps feel fairly quick. Even the ones where I need to loot a lot. Level 98 on Bow Warden or Bow Deadeye? That's a pretty high level. That's well played, buddy. I only got to level 95 before I was hard stuck in T17s for currency. Yeah, no, I'm not killing that boss. He has way too much AoE. And ghosted.
Greet.
Legion, login. Day 5 Anna, that's not bad. Not bad at all. I remember back when I just started to understand the game. It took me a whole... My first header took me 3 months of farming. My second header only took me a month. Took me quite a while before it took me like a week to get a headhunter. Like 4 or 5 leagues. Day 8, but you got very lucky. How did you got lucky, Soup? What happened? Oh, nice! Congratulations on that. Yeah, well, that is an easy headhunter. What content you got your mirror drop? Yeah, well, over time you improve. I had my best day 1 ever this league. I was under the top 3 Deadeyes on the first before I went to bed. I was a level above Fabgun. And then I went to bed and of course that set me back quite a bit. Compared to everyone that didn't went to bed. Not bad, not bad. Congratulations again.
I need more mana.
Why? Tornado shots are already back, buddy. I played it this league start and I demolished T17s with it. Except the boss, but we ignore that part. I had a blast with Tornado Shot this league start. I actually very happy I went Tornado Shot at launch. It was a very good build. I had a very satisfying time with it. Like, it felt so good being bows, zooming on it. T17s were a slight pain in the ass, but overall a very solid build. Very powerful, and very good coverage. Yeah, when you have head-on buff, it's fine, but without head-on buff, sometimes the boss just takes too long to die. I wouldn't recommend Omni. I think right now the best bow amulet is a +1 curse Harry's Truth. It gives slightly more power than a good yoke gives. And it gives you all the crit multi, it gives Culling Strike, it gives dexterity, so you can tattoo your nodes. But explosions. I'm so much happier with this build than with my bow build. It feels giga satisfying. Like, I just dash forward and stuff dies. Sometimes I die, but that's okay. That's the way we lived in softcore trade. I mean, I don't even use Grace on the build. My main defensive layer is killing stuff before it kills me in an explosion chain. And if it doesn't die, then it's likely frozen at least. I should not be dropping frames right now. It might be you, might be a setting. So, I went Warden. So that I combined the Sniper's Mark with Elemental Weakness. And then I had Scorched. Yep, I'm using Foulborn's Barracks with Spite, which with Blade Vortex results in absolute satisfying explosion chains. Very powerful unique. Also using Lost Unity, which is not a Foulborn unique, but it is a new unique of this league. Those two rings were the deciding factor for me going Blade Vortex. Had a couple reasons, but I really wanted to use Herald stacking, and Blade Vortex was the best build for it. And it ended up being my own variant. I have not seen anyone else doing this specific variation of Blade Vortex. With Foulborn and Lost Unity and focusing on 5 Heralds and Herald buff effect. You can't do double mark. You can only have one mark, right? So it's not Sniper Assassin, it's Sniper Elemental Weakness. Or Punishment if you don't want to invest further into minus resistances. Punishment starts being Half-Life, so you see Punishment as half as effective as it is. Is the stream still buffering, Soup?
Let's get it done. Cover me.
Alright, let's see. Not here, not here. Exit is here and then outwards, okay. It crushed your resolve. Oh no, I'm so sorry, buddy. But why? I dropped 0.02% frames in the last couple seconds. Maybe too many explosions. Too many explosions for your PCs to handle. Haha! Blade Vortex supremacy. I can believe that. I didn't know you were also making videos, buddy. I need to check them out. Not gonna lie, I could just stand still in the middle and I would likely be fine. But there's something satisfying about just dashing across the room and everything dies around you. I also had buffering issues in a bunch of streams lately. But I thought those were not per se my issue, but some graphic driver issues. No, that's totally fair. If you find a good strat or you have a cool variant of a build, I highly recommend making a video about it. Because that's how we all start, right? We found something that we think is worth making a video about and we make it. Definitely give it a go. I give it a watch if you link it to me. Oh. Gotta run. The other day, I died to the explosion wave after I exited. Oh, they hurt. I need to move. So, I was standing here, and there's, if you time it badly, there's one last wave coming at you from the outside, where you're already outside, and it killed me. While I was immune to damage, while I had grace period, I died to the explosion wave. Was the weirdest death I've ever seen in the game. Hey. I don't know the name, but I show it in a moment. It's the very close tattoo port. Oh, never mind.
Oh, good. G'day.
So, you send it to Nagakano or Ribbonfell, but Nagakano is better, as tattoos are worth more. There are more tattoos worth something. I've not streamed after day 4 till yesterday. I was suffering in setting up stuff, and I didn't have that much fun. But now that this build is running, I'm having a lot more fun, so I'm back to streaming. I don't enjoy streaming when I'm actually not enjoying the game. But I was pushing currency for the currency push with the team. So I kept pushing for a couple more days. And then I did the respec, and I didn't have that much time. It was mostly just figuring stuff out, sitting in POB. Now the build is running, now I figured stuff out, so I'm back to streaming. I want to get the Culling Strike Headhunter eventually. Preferably with a Corrupt, but I think that's gotta be too expensive.
I should raise my fees.
I'm curious when we're gonna be getting the balance patch. Or the mini patch. Is it gonna be tonight? Is it gonna be tomorrow? How long till we get it? Oh. Another thing for me. Yo! Whoa! Many explosions! I didn't even know which one of those were mine and which ones weren't. I just saw the screen filled with explosions. It is. It doesn't just look satisfying, it feels so satisfying.
I need more mana.
If I can get this build slightly more tanky that I actually survive these maps and I could level, then would be even better. I'm planning to get block into the build, but I need more level to get the block nodes. Oh. Okay, I guess we try the boss. Okay, we got it. I admittedly, this is one of the most satisfying builds I've played in a while. Like, Kinetic Blast last league felt pretty good. But this one just feels satisfying. It just smooth explosions. It's very simplistic to play. I just press Blade Vortex out every couple seconds. I look which direction the zone goes, and I just dash into it. The only thing is I'm causing so many explosions myself. And I want to see the fancy explosions, so I don't see the ground. I would need to disable some MTX, and I would actually see the explosions on the ground. Really, Soup? I mean, it's a build that needs some investment. It doesn't feel good at 0 budget. It feels really great at high budget. But it shouldn't feel bad. Oh, I'm petrified. One more second, petrified. There we go. That's a beefed up rare. There we go. My buffs now. I mean, you could risk it. You could follow me this time with Blade Vortex. I've made a very detailed guide. I included all the information. You can find daily updates to the POB, and you have direct access to me and can ask all the questions. If you want to give it one more go with Blade Vortex. Like, this is my third time playing Blade Vortex. My first time was Self-Burst, my second time was as a very scuffed League starter, which was intentionally scuffed into oblivion. And now this one, and this one feels amazing. Yo MD, look at me! I'm zooming with Blade Vortex, I'm having a blast with it. What do you mean it's a bad skill? This is not Spark. This is not Gone playing Spark MD. It's me making the build, so it's actually well-rounded. Armor Stacker is fine this league. Valdo farming is always a thing. SB? What is SB? Ah, gotcha. I mean, fair, but it has the more damage built in. Like, the effectiveness of Blade Vortex is the 35 more damage for each blade. So that is 350% more damage down there. Espionage? What we are spying on? Who we spying on?
Orders in! Was a long journey. What have you...
I think Blade Vortex numbers are fine. Especially this league, it synergizes really well with Herald of the Hive. You... What? Who are you? What did you do with MD? MD would never not go bows if it's a bow league. What the heck? I know what you mean, Soupy. When I was blasting T-17s on day 3, when I was blasting Juiced Legion on day 2, I also didn't felt like day 2. Actually, I was blasting at the end of day 1. Yo, I full cleared the Legion. Imagine mage butt drop. I can't loot the blower. Nur die Glasbubble.
I need more mana.
Hey Sadamaza, you wanna swap from one to another? There is not much difference between BB and Penance Brand. No, they're fairly overlapping. There's some minor details like the clusters, like some tree nodes, but there is a big overlap between the builds. You can definitely start one and transition it to the other one. Admittedly, I was looking at both as well when I started planning my second build, but I decided that Herald stacking it works better on a brand, worked worse on a brander than on Blade Vortex. Lot of heavy belts this map, but just not the right one. More explosions. I keep getting teleported somewhere. I'm losing track of the loot I want to loot. Look at this, everything's already dead over here. No, I got staggered, I couldn't frost plank. I was actually doing decent again on XP. MD, do you remember the time when self-cursed Blade Vortex was still a thing? Also, I want to extend on your statement. They really need to buff non-energy shield survivability in both PoE 1 and PoE 2. I didn't know it had more than 10 stacks in the past. $50, then $20. Holy. 56 has to be an insanely high hit rate. Alright, take care, buddy. Send me the video once you have it. I'm curious what you'll be cooking. Lab for enchantments. I remember that, but for tornado shot. Woo, another thing for me. I take it. .4. Yo, I didn't even start playing before 3.6. I started in Legion League. Old school gamer. He saw all the buffs, all the patches. I played twice during the beta phase. One when strong boxes were introduced, and one when wallside areas were introduced. But I only ever played Act 1 and Act 2. Because I didn't have a group to play with. I didn't got catched by the game yet. That only happened when I was playing a Diablo 3 season. And I was done with it in 3 hours. 1 hour to level to max. 1 hour to get all the Paragon level and the gear. And a third to do the challenges. I was done in 3 hours. I went to bed super unsatisfied. Woke up the next morning. And was like, yo, I remember this other game I played. So I installed Path of Exile. I watched 5 different guides while it was installing. And then I took Enki's Archwitch and I started enjoying Path of Exile. I joined a guild. I had a bunch of fun. And my second build was Cyclone. And I used it to farm 40 challenges in my first league. And farm up at least 1 Divine a day and 1 Uber Elder a day. That was my accomplishment in my first league. I'm very proud of that. I knew that double act running and difficulties was a thing in the game, but I never played through to that point in my initial playthrough. Like I mentioned, the first 2 times I tried it, I got stuck in Act 1. The start of Act 2 was when I ended. Triple act running. I used to care about standard. I used to clear out my standard tab. Remove all the remove only tab. Sort everything in. Have everything fancy. But I just can't anymore. There's too much happening and I just don't care about standard. I only play for like a month to 2 months before I either play other games or now prepare for PoE2. Yeah, Settlers had some issues. But hey, surely that's never happening again. You didn't skip any leagues since 2.6. Actually, I enjoyed Kalandra. It was the league where I farmed my first
Approach,
mirror.
Challenger.
Before that, I got a mirror dropped once while I was doing other things, but I never farmed up a mirror until Lake of Kalandra. Always ended before that. I really like dot-touched farming for 1 league. I'm happy it didn't win 4, but I thought it was really good for 1 league as a way to play the game. It was also the league Snoobai exploded. Was his league to shine. I think playing in a guild though is one of the highest priorities I recommend new players. Just having people, having communities to play with. Now, nowadays you can make your community around a streamer and be part of their community. But I think a guild is just on a different level than being in a chat of a streamer or on a Discord of a streamer. It's a small group of people that want to interact with each other and help each other out. Being my first guild really helped me. I was a lot of individuals that taught me a lot about the game. That accelerated my growth tremendously. And I met other buddies since then that also joined guilds when they initially played and got accelerated even further. Gone, one of my best buddies, started playing the game after I did, and in trade is at least twice as good in currency generation than I am. Just because he played with the people that were really good at it and teached it initially. Biggest miss in PoE. What do you mean with miss? The mistake? Build you shouldn't have done? An item you shouldn't have bought? Or the something you didn't enjoy at all? Or something you missed out on? Legion AoE Cyclone? Old Headhunter? Just zooming through the entire map with a massive tornado? I screw that die.
Ah, fortune such as this. Do try.
Like, Affliction was cool for one league. Lake of Kalandra was cool for one league. Sentinel was cool for one league. All these things. But Cyclone, that's always cool. It's never not satisfying. Having 100 headhunter buffs and spinning through a map. No. I'll be fully honest. I think Affliction is really cool for one league. But the way Affliction or Heist or Lake of Kalandra influenced the currency and the meta was not good. I don't think Affliction had a good meta. I think it was a really cool league and I was happily playing it. But I don't think it was a healthy meta. It was a very snowbally meta, a very specific one. The map rotation, the map loot wasn't great. You had to run very specific maps, you had to run them in a very specific way. You needed to manage when to damage and how to damage. My biggest drop is a mirror. I got a mirror in Sentinel League, I got a mirror in Affliction League, and I got a mirror last league. And I got giga unlucky in Affliction League. 1 month of magic finding resulted in 1 mirror drop. And I was juicing at a level of Upgun. Only exception I didn't have a multi-legacy magic find gear. I got giga unlucky on the mirror drops. Yeah, I only got 1. Three mod Hatred Watchers. Yo, that's an insane drop. In BPL once we got a triple fist taken as elemental watchers. But as a team, right? Somebody got that dropped in the BPL team I was in. Not I got it dropped. I think a couple of aura changes, a couple of defense changes could definitely be reverted or adjusted further into a different direction. Defense right now is fairly weak. We want defense, but the defense we have available in Juice T17 content isn't actually that much. Like, example last league with risk mapping, you couldn't go block, because if you went block, you could have had one every 3 maps, could have just had, oh hey, by the way, you don't have block as a player. You weren't able to go spell suppression, because every couple maps had, yeah, you don't get spell suppression. All you had was having a high hit pool and hoping you survive long enough. And kill fast enough. I think the way they currently are is not the best way they could have been. I'm on the camp of, I don't enjoy the T17 mods. I think T17s should be bossing specific. They should allow you to be the funnel you need to do uber bosses, but shouldn't be where the focus of mapping is. Mappings should be in T60. And 16.5 has been the right step in the direction back to focus on T16s. But they still need a little bit more on the 16.5s. That mapping there is better than in T17. Like, we need spreads that reward us on being on 16.5s compared to be on T17s. Otherwise, we still just do Fortress T17s because boxes and higher map count and barrels. In the first 2 leagues T17s were introduced, I run 5 T17s, and only because I needed them for challenges. I'm not a big fan of them. I gladly see them adjusted or pushed into a different content niche. But I have come to accept that they're currently part of the game and I need to get better at running them.
Approach, challenger.
They tried to ambush me. We also, one thing that we had a couple leagues in a row now was each league gave a different way to juice the end game. We went from Lake of Kalandra rare hunting into... Wait, actually, let me open this to have it in mind. So, we had... Here. We had Siege of the Atlas introduced Maven. And we had the big Atlas tree for the first time. And, sorry, Maven wasn't Echoes, but Siege of Atlas introduced the Atlas tree. Then we had Sentinel farming. Then we had God-Touched farming. Then we had Sanctum for currency. And we had Back to Basics and Wandering Path variants for a couple leagues. We then had Affliction farming. We had the All Flame farming in Necropolis, Flash stacking and whatnot. In what we had in Kalguas. Admittedly, I don't remember what was in Kalguas. I know we had boxes, but I don't think we had anything other than boxes. Then we had, last league we had risk mapping, and now we are back to just boxes. I like when the league introduces a powerful way to map in the end game, but keeps it for one league. I like if the endgame meta changes each league, instead of being stale. Like, boxes feels a very stale way, a very specific way, and if we don't have many alternatives to it, I feel like it's a little bit meh. Alright, we run all the maps. Let's see what Wealthy Exile says. Ooh boy. Wealthy Exile says that we made in 4 hours, but this includes, I haven't made a snapshot exactly before I run, basically for the duration of the stream, which is 2.5 hours, we made 32 divines. A revenue of 47 divines. This means... divided by... 12 divines an hour. Not too bad. No high drops. And I'm still fairly slow. Maybe with some bulk selling we can make more out of it. But pretty good for 20 maps.
What was I doing again?
Yeah, just scarab farming. Just from the farms and from the loot we just gotten.
Onward and upward, as Danig might say.
Yo, Kesuke, how you doing, buddy? Ah, the wrong search again.
Oh,
Had to rewrite your essay, oh no.
always a pleasure.
You're broke in game. I mean, with your luck, you're just gonna do 1 or 2 crafts and suddenly you have 5 mirrors. Alright, let's see where we got what currency in. We lost a couple in daily orbs, but it's okay. We lost currency to buy. We lost a lot of currency to buy. But we got a bunch of divine orbs. Actually, I also converted a bunch of chaos into divines, to be fair. Got a bunch of Grand Eldritch. Oof. Oh boy. Good luck with the book. Got a bunch of fragments. Not really lucky in div cards. 3 catalyzings, that's pretty good. 50 cloister. 3 pandemoniums, couple discernment. Couple bloodlines. Not bad, not bad. Not bad at all. Alright. Oh, I minimized everything. Second. I fractured base, rolled for all spell, forced physical on it, won the annulment, and then I did reforge crit. I send you the details on Discord on it. I also will be making a video on it in the future. Alright. Likely need... Yeah. Alternatively, you can also recomp to get +2 and then start from there. But I like having fractured spell damage on it. Alright, need to liquefy a bunch of stuff. But I don't want to do that on stream. Do I have any maps left? Not really. This variant has a pretty good self-sustain.
I'll put the word out. We'll make it happen. Ahoy!
Pretty good self-sustain on the Scarabs. And then we have all the valuable ones to sell. And then we have all these to sell as well. Now I need to liquefy a bunch of currency.
Doodles.
Nah, I think I'm just gonna end it here. It's a good time to go to bed. I like to be in bed early and stand up early. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be ending the stream, get some sleep, and I'll be sending you elsewhere for more amazing PoE content. Alright. Good night, everyone. I'll be checking where to send you, and I will promise to be back tomorrow. Yo, Runaway is streaming. We are gonna be checking out Runaway, because he is playing a very cool build. Good night, everyone.